Have you ever wondered what distinguishes high-value guys from others when it comes to dealing with women? Is it the way they look, their wealth, or something deeper, something spoken, something in their presence, something in their manner? Today, we're going to share the strategies that valuable men employ to interact with women in a way that not only earns their respect, but also creates a genuine connection. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. I guarantee that you will leave this film with insights that could completely transform your romantic life. Because each of these points builds on the one before it, you won't want to miss a single one, so pay attention. 1. Calm confidence in conversations. I have a question for you. Have you ever witnessed someone go into a room and instantly grab attention without saying a word? You might think it's their looks, their clothes, or even their social status. However, let me make it clear that those are essentially surface-level components. Actually, it's something deeper that grabs attention. It's the calm confidence that comes from within. Imagine now that you are sitting across from someone you are very attracted to. Your heart is racing, you're perspiring, and you're scrutinizing every word you speak. You might even be telling yourself, "Don't make a mistake." The problem is that the more you try to impress, the more you lose your inner peace. Women know this too and can tell you're nervous before you even say a word. High-value men don't let their nerves get the better of them because they know that no one else's opinion can define their worth. So they take their time establishing themselves. Instead, they stress being grounded and present in the moment. It's peace, not arrogance, and there's something alluring about that calm. Think about it. Do you not feel more comfortable? When speaking with someone who is calm and collected, that's exactly what happens when you approach conversations with confidence and composure. Women feel protected, understood, and curious. But how can this be developed? Self-awareness is the first step. Think about this. What makes you feel nervous or unworthy? Is it that you're elevating her? High-value men view conversations as an opportunity to share, learn, and engage, not as a test. Here's a brief exercise. Take a deep breath the next time you're going to talk to someone you respect. Keep in mind that your value is determined by how you treat yourself and other people, not by what other people think of you. There will be anxious moments in any love story, including yours. Confidence is the cornerstone of those that stand out and flourish. Think back to your first crush. Do you remember how you felt? That mix of excitement and anxiety? Now think about what you might have done if you had faced that situation with calm assurance instead of anxiety. What would have been the difference? The lesson here is that women are not looking for the perfect mate. They are looking for someone who is real and present. Calm confidence is not about uttering the right words, but about being the right person, someone who is grounded, truthful, and comfortable with themselves. Stay with me because we're only getting started. In the next point, we'll show you how to make every word count. 2. Speaking with purpose, not filling the silence. It is a sign of a valuable man. I want to know if you have ever been in a conversation where someone was constantly trying to fill every silence with words. How did you feel about it? Weary? Offended? Now imagine that every word feels purposeful, and that silences are important rather than unpleasant. Let me tell you a story. A man dates a woman he really likes, and because he's nervous, he talks about anything to keep the conversation going, including his job, his hobbies, and even the weather. By the end of the night, though, the woman feels that he wasn't really interested in her because she didn't say much. Think about a man who listens more than he talks. His words carry weight because he speaks with purpose. He asks her questions that make her feel valuable. He also takes his time to fill in any holes in the conversation, letting it stand and fostering a link between them. In actuality, being quiet isn't a terrible thing. In fact, it may be your best friend. It shows that you are confident in yourself and that you don't need to prove yourself by always talking. But how can one interact with purpose? The first step is to listen. When you listen carefully, you can determine what the other person needs from the conversation. Perhaps they want to share a tale, express an emotion, or simply enjoy your company. When you listen, you react with purpose. Let me take you back to your own romantic history, perhaps the first time you truly connected with someone during those intense conversations. When words were more than just words, they were bridges. Imagine reliving that every time you talk to someone. What is the purpose of what I am going to say? Is one way to practice. Am I just occupying space, or am I adding something valuable to the conversation? You'll find that when you focus on your goal, your words take on more meaning, and meaning creates connection. Women know this. They sense that you are rare and memorable, that you listen, that you think before you speak, that you let silence imply depth. Keep an eye out, because we're going to discuss a topic that all men should learn, but are scared of: how to handle rejection. 3. Emotionally detached. How to handle rejection. Rejection is a natural part of life, and how you handle it shows more about you than the rejection itself. Valued guys approach rejection differently. They don't act aggressively, they don't break apart, and they keep their emotional distance. Let's face it, nobody likes being rejected. It hurts. For instance, you have recently mustered the courage to approach someone you are interested in. It is easy to feel like you have failed when you put yourself out there and are told, "I'm not interested." The Stoic perspective, on the other hand, maintains that rejection is not a sign of your worth. Rather, it is simply incompatible. A high-value guy knows that his value is independent of other people's judgments. Therefore, he refuses to allow rejection to define him. Take Marcus Aurelius, who claimed that your mind, not external circumstances, is in control of you. Knowing this will give you strength. Now let's personalize this. Think of a time when you were rejected, perhaps by a loved one. Do you remember the hurt? But remember the growth, the learning, and the resilience that came from it. The beauty of rejection is that it's a fresh start rather than the end. A high-value man might react to it like this. 1. Acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed, but don't let those feelings to control you. 2. Turn the situation around by seeing rejection as an opportunity to refocus. What you're gaining is more significant than what you've lost. 3. Stay calm. Being polite in your reaction makes you stand out. Reacting violently or frustratedly just makes you look less valuable. When you emotionally remove yourself, you show strength. Women know this, and they like a man who can endure rejection and continue under duress. Ironically, when you don't fear rejection, you become more attractive. Confidence without desperation is alluring. Think about your own life, the rejections you've had and the ways you've managed to overcome them. Each of those experiences shaped who you are now, and that person deserves to be known and appreciated. Let's get started, since what follows is revolutionary. How to maintain composure under duress. 4. Maintaining composure in any situation. I want to know if you have ever been in a situation where your emotions got the better of you. Maybe you said something regrettable or did something that wasn't really you. What if you could stay calm and collected no matter what life threw at you? How might that affect your relationships, your sense of self, and how other people perceive you? If you're on a date and everything is going well, then all of a sudden something happens, like your date saying something you don't agree with, or a waiter spilling a drink on you. How do you handle the situation? Do you handle it politely, or do you let it shake you? The latter is the option of a high-value man. Retaining your composure means controlling your responses to your emotions rather than suppressing them. The famous Stoic Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we have power over our ideas, not outside events. If you realize this, you will find strength. When things don't go as planned, women watch how you behave. It's easy to be charming when everything is going well. But when things get tough, your true character comes out. Think back to a time in your romantic relationship when you disagreed, misunderstood, or perhaps just sat awkwardly silent. How did you react to that? Did you show your frustration, or did you manage to move past it? The next time you feel your emotions rising, take a moment to breathe deeply and ask yourself, will this matter in a week? Ask yourself, a month? A year? Most of the time, the answer is negative. Because of that stop, you can respond wisely instead of hastily. When you remain calm, you are communicating that you are not affected by the chaos around you. Women find this impressive because it offers them a sense of security and shows that you are in control of the situation and yourself. Now think back to your love story. What if you had remained calm during those stressful times? How might things have gone differently? How much stronger could that connection have been? It's not just about pleasing others. It's about becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. And when you show that strength, others are drawn to you. We're going to examine the art of listening with your whole being, not just your ears, so stay tuned. 5. The art of active listening. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who actually listened to you? Not just heard what you had to say, but understood your feelings, concerns, and goals? Think about how you felt at the time. Respected? Observed? Now think about this. Do you give others, especially the women in your life, the same gift? The issue is that high-value men are masters of the art of listening, and they know that listening is not about waiting for your turn to speak, but about making the other person feel heard. Being fully present and showing genuine interest. Imagine this, you are discussing something personal with someone, and they simply nod, maintain eye contact, and ask insightful questions without interrupting or responding. Isn't that a wonderful feeling? This type of connection is really rare, yet women crave it. I'll take you back to your own love history. Maybe the first time you felt a deep connection with someone. Wasn't it during a conversation where you both felt at ease being quiet and when words made sense? That's how active listening works. Focus on 3 things in order to implement this. 1. Be present. Put your phone away. Focus entirely on the person and take a moment to yourself. 2. Inquire about their passions, experiences, and dreams. This shows that you are genuinely interested in what they have to offer. 3. Reflect back, rephrase or reiterate what they've said to show that you're interested in them. For example, you seem to have had a great time on that trip. What did you enjoy most about it? An atmosphere where the other person feels valued and understood is created by active listening. The key is that women hold on to the emotions you arouse in them. In addition to gathering information, listening also builds relationships. Think about how annoying it was when you were neglected. Imagine now that you are someone who constantly listens and makes others feel valued. That is a unique feature that sets you apart. We're going to discuss how to communicate non-verbally using body language. So pay attention. 6. Stoic body language. How to speak without words. Before you even speak, your body does the talking. Let me ask you this. When you go into a room, what do your posture, energy, and glance convey? Self-confidence? Are you experiencing anxiety or indifference? The truth is that women are able to pick up on these signs instantly, often even before you say anything. Think back to the last time you interacted with someone you were interested in. Did you slouch, fidget, or avoid making eye contact? Or did you remain calm, stand straight, and focus on the future? Instead than just projecting confidence, Stoic body language aims to live it. Let me share a story with you. A man walks into a coffee shop and spots a woman he wants to date. He takes a big breath, straightens his posture, and comes forward with a calm smile on his face despite his uneasiness. His body language conveys poise, confidence, and purpose despite his direct speaking. When she notices, she's fascinated. Marcus Aurelius said, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This suggests that events beyond of your control shouldn't disturb you. This is true of body language as well. When you are calm and relaxed, your body automatically reflects your inner strength. The following advice can help you cultivate Stoic body language. 1. Posture. Stand tall and with your shoulders back. This not only makes you look confident, but it also increases your sense of self-worth. 2. Without gazing, make eye contact with other people. It shows that you are present and involved. 3. Make sure your movements are natural and purposeful. Avoid fidgeting or crossing your arms, as these may indicate defensiveness or anxiety. Bring your love story back to mind. Do you have any examples of when your body language was more effective than your words? Maybe it was the way you leaned in to show interest, your reassuring smile, or your unwavering gaze. Unspoken clues can make all the difference. Being adept at Stoic body language not only conveys confidence but also inspires trust. Women are attracted to you because your actions and words align. Keep reading, because the next point will teach you how to avoid drama and manage your emotions. 2 things that every high-value man should be able to do. 7. Mastering emotional control and avoiding drama. Let's take a little rest. Think back to a moment when you and your significant other, or simply a friend, got into a heated argument. How did you respond? Were you able to keep your cool and regulate your emotions? Or did you allow anger or frustration to dictate how you behaved? Imagine for a moment that you could always control your emotions. How might that impact your relationships? Let me give you an example. A couple is fighting. The woman is upset and expressing her feelings. The man's anger increases, but instead of retaliating, he takes a long breath. He listens, remains composed, and responds with empathy rather than accusations when it's his turn to speak. As she calms down, the situation de-escalates. Instead of suppressing his feelings, this man is overcoming them. The ability of high-value guys to control their emotions is what makes them unique. It's about accepting your feelings without letting them rule your life. This creates a feeling of stability that women find appealing. They are confident that you will handle matters without making them worse. But let's connect this to your romantic history. Think about a situation where remaining calm could have altered how a disagreement turned out. Maybe it began little and developed into something bigger. What if you had responded with calm assurance instead of letting your feelings run wild? Did it capture that moment? In actuality, emotional management is not about being cold or distant, but rather about awareness. When you feel angry, irritated, or depressed, stop. Ask yourself, what's the best outcome here? How can I reply instead of react? By doing this, you avoid unnecessary drama and gain respect. The lifeblood of drama is reaction. If you don't feed the fire, it goes out. This does not imply that you totally avoid conflict, but rather that you handle it constructively. Women respect men who can deal with issues maturely rather than impatiently. As we continue, think about how improving your ability to control your emotions can alter how you interact with other people. Next, we'll examine how asking the right questions can improve rapport and spark interesting discussions. 8. Asking thoughtful, deep questions. I have a question for you. Have you ever engaged in a dialogue that felt shallow and unimportant? Now contrast that with a discussion where a question prompted you to pause, reflect, and reveal yourself. Which one left a lasting impression? Think about going on a date. Instead of asking the usual small talk questions like, what do you do? From where are you? You ask, what is something you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance to do? Her eyes light up. She starts discussing her interests, anxieties, and aspirations. That's what a thoughtful investigation can accomplish. Posing meaningful questions shows that you care about the person in a way that goes beyond small matters. They offer a setting that fosters strong bonds. The catch is that people are more likely to talk about themselves when they feel heard. and understood. Now think about your own love life. Was there ever a moment when an investigation produced something deeper? Maybe you asked her what her fondest childhood memory was or what her top priorities were. Those are the moments that stand out. Here are some guidelines for crafting thoughtful questions. 1. Be sincere rather than just asking questions for the sake of asking them. Show a great deal of curiosity. 2. Think outside the box. Try asking, "What made you happy today?" instead of, "How was your day?" 3. Actively listen, pay attention to the answers and let them guide the conversation. You're building a bridge, not just gathering facts, by asking insightful questions. Women are drawn to men who make them feel heard and understood, and asking questions is a terrific way to do that. So as you go along, think about the questions you may ask to build deeper relationships. And stay tuned because our next topic is confidence without ego. 9. Confidence without ego. Now let's talk about confidence. Instead of the loud, blustery type that screams for attention, people are drawn to the calm, steady type. What does confidence mean to you, if I may ask you? When does it turn into egotism? Think about this. A pair of men enter a room. One is noisy to make sure he's recognized. Quiet, assurance, and composure characterize the other. Which do you think would be your favorite? The majority is represented by the second man. The genuineness of egoless confidence makes it attractive. In your love story, how have you shown confidence? Was it the manner in which you approached someone at first? Or maybe in the way you two handled a situation? Being confident does not mean being perfect. It means being comfortable with who you are. Here's a key distinction. Confidence says, "I am sufficient." The ego asserts, "I'm better than you." Women are capable of differentiating between the two. Confidence invites connection, whereas ego repels others. To cultivate confidence without ego, focus on these 3 concepts. 1. Show humility. Recognize your achievements rather than bragging about them. You should let your actions do the talking. 2. Admit vulnerability. The secret to genuine confidence is to embrace your flaws, instead of trying to hide them. 3. Encourage others, rather of competing with others around you. Support and help them. Think back to the moments when you were confident in your romantic life. Was it in the manner you tackled an issue? Or in the manner that you be helpful to others without expecting anything in return? Such moments define who you are. Pay close attention because in the final point, we'll let you know how to conclude a conversation. Politely, a skill that any important guy should possess. 10. How to end a conversation with grace. It may seem insignificant to wrap up a conversation, but remember that your manner of doing so often leaves the greatest impression. Have you ever engaged in a lengthy or abruptly ending conversation? What was your reaction to it? Examine the following situation. You are having a conversation with someone you are curious about. Even though the conversation is going well, it's time to leave. Rather than making things awkward, you smile and say, "I've really enjoyed talking to you," instead. "Let's get this going again soon." It's polite, direct, and provides a channel for future conversation. A courteous manner to conclude a conversation shows consideration for the other person's time and leaves a positive impression because it demonstrates your emotional intelligence. Women take heed of this. Think on your past love life. In what cases may a sophisticated departure have made a difference? Maybe it was an uncomfortable date ending or an extended phone call. What if you had concluded with a nice statement that left her wanting to talk to you again? Here's how to become skilled at it. 1. Survey the area. Take note of how the discussion is progressing. When things start to wind down, it's a good idea to wrap up. 2. Express gratitude. Thank the person for their time or for sharing something substantial. 3. Set the scene for a future visit. Make a follow-up suggestion so they will desire more. Conclusion. These are 11 rules that outline appropriate communication between women and men of great value. In addition to enhancing your communication skills, these attributes, which vary from poised assurance to emotional regulation, allow you to build more meaningful and enduring connections. Remember that they are a lifestyle rather than just a collection of techniques. You're not only improving your interactions, but also improving yourself by adopting these Stoic principles. Kindly remember to share this video with anybody you believe could benefit from it. Like it and subscribe. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope to see you soon.